Hello and welcome. Am I on? There you go. Hello, welcome. Thank you for being here. We hope you have a good time tonight. This is designed to be fun. This is designed for you to be engaged, to laugh, and to have a great time. So, without further ado, we're going to kick this off. Please welcome this edition of the Round Table.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the greatest and least boring game show of all time. Do you want that thing? Yes. I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you. You're all supposed to say it with me. Let's try it again. On the count of 3, do you want that thing? Ready? All right. 1, 2, 3. Do you want that thing? Thank you, everyone, for joining me for the latest round of Do You Want That Thing? I'm your host, Calix, Quebec. No, I don't have anything I'd rather be doing. Really. After my megachurch stalled out at 750 giving units, I took the next best job for a megachurch pastor, being a game show host. I never dreamed it could be so fulfilling. And this is my assistant, Mr. Banana Blight.
Hello. Hello. Woohoo! Woohoo! Ho 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 ho!
Stop. 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 No one wants to clap for a failed game show banana.
You know, Calix, I never understood why it didn't work out for me. I changed my name and everything.
Wait, you changed your name to Banana Blight?
You're banana right.
What did your name used to be?
Pear perfect.
Is that why you're wearing that pear costume?
Pear costume? Woohoo!
On today's show, we're going to be doing what we do every time on this great game show, Do You Want That Thing? It never gets old. I never wish I was watching paint dry. We're going to find an unsuspecting volunteer. Mr. Banana Blight will describe to that volunteer the thing underneath this box and the thing underneath this box. One of those things is a great thing. One of those things is a not so great thing. I want to emphasize that Mr. Blight will describe things in the clearest possible terms. And then we will let our contestant pick between these two things. Now, Mr. Blight, why don't you find our random man on the street?
I'd love to, Calix. If only a random man on the street would walk by right. Oh, you there, you there. Sir, how would you like to come up here. How would you like to be part of the greatest game show of all time?
Jeopardy?
No, not Jeopardy. Something much better than Jeopardy. Do you want that thing?
Do I want what thing?
No, not what thing, that thing.
You'd have to show it to me for me to pick it. So.
I will. As soon as you agree to be on our game show.
What game show?
Do you want that thing?
Do I want which thing?
No, not which thing. That thing.
I have no idea what's going on.
And we have Sucker, contestant.
What's going on?
What's your name, sir?
Jake.
Cool name. Let me ask you how this works. Let me explain how this works, Jake. You're going to stand right here. We've got these 2 boxes. My assistant, Mr. Blight, is going to describe what's under each box, and then you pick the box that you want the best, all right? And you keep what you pick.
That's it? That's all I have to do? Just pick the box and then I keep it?
Yeah, that's the game. It's the most wonderful game that was ever invented.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, Mr. Blight, let's get this over with.
Oh boy! All right, Jake the cake, a half-baked Jake.
Stop.
Jake the.
Stop.
Okay, Jakey Poo. All right. Hey, now listen, Jake. In box number 1, we have a thing that is round, white, shiny, and delicate. And in today's world, it's quite rare, let me assure you. It's the kind of thing women are known to love. And if you were to wear this thing out in public, people would go crazy.
Okay, so it's round, it's white, it's shiny, it's delicate. Women love it. They wear it in public.
Yeah.
Okay, that sounds pretty great. Do you have any other clues for me?
Yes, it's the kind of thing you wouldn't want to throw before the swine.
Okay, all right. That sounds pretty good.
Yeah, sounds pretty
How
good.
about the other box, though?
Oh, right, box number 2. Yes, of course. Let's see. In box number 2, we have a thing that is used, dirty, and worn out. It's known for causing untold misery in this world, and our government uses it to do its dirty work. It's based on lies.
Okay, can you tell me anything else about it? Anything good, maybe?
No, but I can tell you that the Bible says that if you love this thing, you're not going to heaven.
Okay.
A hard choice indeed.
Very hard.
Contestant Jake, what will you choose?
It doesn't feel like a hard choice at all. It feels like an easy choice. Do you agree with me? This box? Is this box, right? This is the one I want. Box number 1.
Wonderful choice, contestant number 1.
Woohoo! Box number 1. All right. Okay.
Now, Mr. Blight, why don't you show our contestant what he's not getting first? Okay. Show him the thing in box number 2.
Okay. Yeah, box number 2. It's a big wad of cash.
What?
There must be thousands of dollars in here.
I think you did me dirty. You said it was dirty and evil, man.
Viva la revolution, you capitalist swine.
I'm feeling kind of tricked.
No.
But I'm getting something still that is shiny and valuable. And women love it, right? So can I get my prize?
Mr. Blight, show him what he's won.
Ooh. It's a whipped cream pie. It's a beautiful. Isn't it beautiful?
You described a pearl.
What gave you that idea?
You said it was very rare?
When's the last time you saw a whipped cream pie?
Are you serious? You said it was something that women are fond of.
They're the only ones who know how to make it.
Okay.
To be fair, there are things that only women can make. The most special of them takes 9 months.
Oh, yes. Sandwiches. They're delicious. Wonderful.
Right.
Mr. Blight is single, ladies.
I am single.
Okay, look, but you said it was something that you could literally throw to, or would never throw to swine.
Feed a delicious pie to the pigs? No.
You said that if I wore it in public, everybody would go crazy.
Well, it's very true. You want me to demonstrate?
Absolutely not.
Oh. Woohoo!
You are our lucky winner, contestant Jake.
Yes. Thank you.
And that's how you play. Do you want this thing? Yeah, probably. Good? We did it! All right.
Enjoyed that.
Oh my goodness. How did it get on me? All right. Welcome to the round table, everyone. I'm Nathan, this is Jake, this is Ben. Tonight our subject is knowing the one true God for real. And we are going to talk about 3 aspects of that, aren't we, guys?
Yeah. So number 1, how do we know the one true God?
Number 2, who is the one true God and what do we know about him?
And third, how do we really know God as opposed to just knowing about God? So we're starting with how do we know the one true God? Now, gentlemen, we just got done with a very intelligent and elucidating skit about how we know things. What was the purpose of that skit?
I have no idea.
I think it was so that we could talk about how we know God.
And what can we know about God?
Yeah, so Jake was limited in his perspective because he had to rely on a pretty untrustworthy individual for information about what was under those boxes.
Jake had details that were technically true, but they didn't add up to a complete picture of what were in the boxes.
So in the same way, the question is God sort of like that? Is he sort of like the object under the box where we have to deal with everybody else's unreliable descriptions of what they think's under the box? Are we limited by flawed human perspectives when it comes to God?
Is it impossible to know the one true God? Is he too mysterious, too beyond us? Is God, in fact, incomprehensible to our feeble powers of human reckoning?
Yeah, my kids were just talking about their feeble powers of human reckoning the other day, so.
They do that. I've heard your kids talk.
They're not that bad. I mean, your kids aren't that bad, but there are things that are incomprehensible to their feeble powers of human reckoning.
So, point is, there's a lot of people who would answer yes. Like, God is incomprehensible, and all we can do is offer our limited perspectives, and that's all that we can do, period.
And if that's true, it would mean that all religion basically just amounts to people trying to grasp for a God that they can't reach. Like, people try and figure things out about God, but he's completely beyond us.
Well, and that kind of grasping without getting is true of all false religion.
Right, but the good news is that even though it's true that God is beyond us and we cannot reach up to him, he's stooped down to us. He's revealed himself to us. And we started to talk about that last month when we were talking about God revealing himself to us in the Bible.
Right, but the Bible is not the only way that God reveals himself. There's another primary way as well. In fact, let's talk about them both in a little segment I call The Primary Ways God Reveals Himself to Us. Hey everybody, welcome to The Primary Ways that God Reveals Himself to Us. I'm your host Nathan, that's Jake, that's Ben.
Hello.
Hi. Ben, why don't you start us off? What is the first way that God reveals himself to us?
Sure. So the first way is through creation. It's through nature. The creation shows evidence of its creator just the way that anything anyone makes shows evidence of the one who makes it.
That is exactly right. And to illustrate this point, I am going to need 2 volunteers. Let me see here. I will take a... who should I pick? Otto?
Yeah.
Okay. And I will take a... Geneva? Okay. All right. Here's what we're going to do. Pastor Sulzer is going to time you for 30 seconds while you draw a picture of a house.
With crayons and paper. All right. There's not a lot of room, but you guys can do this.
I want you to draw the best house you can, just the way you want to, and we'll see what we can learn about the two of you from the house you draw. Okay, remember you have 30 seconds.
Okay, 3.
Ready to time them, Ben?
Ready. 3, 2, 1, go.
Draw, 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 draw.
Draw.
Draw, 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 draw.
Draw.
Draw,
Draw.
draw, you
Draw.
varmint.
Come
Draw.
on. They're getting the full minute, folks.
Whoa.
You're not crazy. I know you were counting in your head.
Draw. Draw. Stop drawing!
All right. You got a minute. Okay. I'm going to hold them up for everyone. Here.
Yeah.
Crayon in here. All right. Show the crowd what you drew. Houses. Can we see? Show us too. Yeah. Let's have a round of applause. Very nice. Very nice. Good work.
You can keep it.
Yeah. Leave them. You can leave them there. Or did you say take them?
Yeah, they can take
Oh,
it.
my goodness.
Yeah, you can
That's
keep it.
property of Church of the King now. All right.
All right.
You can take them.
So, what was the point of that illustration?
Well,
So, it turns out their houses were pretty similar, right? They look like houses. They look like houses drawn by, how old are you, Otto? 10 and Geneva? 9, a 9 and 10-year-old, right? And they actually look pretty similar. We expected them to be pretty different, but I think it might be that you're related. I don't know.
Yeah, that's true.
yeah. So, in any case, the same way that those kids' houses point to them, you see, I mean, I saw a difference. Geneva cares about getting mail. Otto didn't have a mailbox at all.
I don't care about mail.
Yeah. So, in the same way, creation points back to God. And on some level, it's important to remember that everyone on the planet actually sees creation, and they know that. They know it points back to God.
Right. Romans 1:19-20 says this: "For what can be known about God is plain to them, because God has shown it to them. For his invisible attributes, namely his eternal power and divine nature, have been clearly perceived ever since the creation of the world in the things that have been made, so they are without excuse.
So what that means is just the same way we can take a picture and tell that there's an artist, somebody who created it, nature reveals the artist, reveals the designer, reveals God. We all know when we see mountains and skies and trees and flowers, these tangible things, that there is an invisible creator and designer behind them, that God exists and that he created all things.
Right. It could be something as mundane as raindrops on a window. And if you look at the intricate pattern, you see that there's a creator behind that, right?
Yeah, it could be the fall colors. It's one of my favorites. You see the glory and the beauty in the colors in fall. That's revealing something of God's glory and beauty.
And speaking of God's glory and beauty, that's something that's revealed in the tiniest grain of sand that you put under a microscope and in the brightest stars of the skies that we look at through a telescope.
So, as the passage also says, it's that knowledge is enough to condemn us. It's enough to send us to hell. The passage says we're without excuse. No one will be able to say at the last judgment, God didn't give me evidence.
Wait, Ben, so you're saying simply breathing in the morning dew, simply seeing those raindrops on the window or the fall colors, simply studying the way a salamander's muscle structure works, that's enough to condemn us?
That me sitting downstairs listening to my kids laugh and play while I sip my morning cup of coffee, that's enough to condemn me.
You're saying that all that stuff proves God's existence such that it also proves that we owe him our worship, our gratitude, our obedience, and if we don't then do those things, that's enough to condemn us? Is that what you're saying, Ben?
Yeah, is that what you're saying?
That is actually what the Apostle Paul is saying, and I'm agreeing with him.
So, to sum up, our knowledge of the natural world is enough to see that God exists, that we ought to worship him, and that's enough to condemn us for the fact that we don't do that perfectly.
But many people don't want to accept this.
Yeah, people have all kinds of reasons why they don't want to accept what they see in the natural world as evidence for God.
Like all the people who say evolution. Everything you see, including us, just happened.
Right, we could get into evolution and creation, and maybe at a future roundtable we will. But for now, what we want to say is just this basic thing, that everyone actually knows there's a God, just based on the evidence of the world around us. It's just that we don't want to admit it.
And why not? Because sin has an effect on our minds. In our sin, we don't look at creation honestly. We don't want to. We don't want to worship the Creator. That's the deal with us in our sin. Left to ourselves, we will deny. The trees, mountains, even our own bodies all point us back to the Creator.
And not just our own bodies. God made us in his image, and that means that we have consciences, a sense of right and wrong. We can reason, we can feel things. These are all evidence of God, our designer, who made us in his image.
Now remember, we're talking about the primary ways that God reveals himself. So you've got nature, which we've just spent some time talking about, and then you've got the Bible, obviously that's the other one. How do those two go together?
Well, think of nature like a book that reveals God to us. We can call that book general revelation. It's general because it teaches everybody in the whole world, just the basics about who God is and what our responsibility is to him.
But it doesn't teach us to deal with the guilt we have for not worshiping him. Nature can't save us. Nature can't lead us to Jesus. What does? The Bible. So we call the Bible special revelation because it's God's specific and direct revelation to us.
And in the Bible, we meet the God who's not just there, who stands to condemn us as our creator, but as our Savior who stands to save us and wants us to come into a relationship with him.
Okay, so once again, we've got general revelation, which is nature, and then we've got special revelation, which is the Bible.
Right, and you can think of the Bible sort of like glasses that correct our vision. God's revealed himself in nature, but left to our own devices, we interpret nature through our own sinful eyes. Scripture's like glasses that help correct us and help us see what's really there.
Yeah, and what's really there is a created world that's shouting God's name. It's calling us to worship him. That's it.
And we need those glasses of Scripture then to see the world properly, just like Nathan needs his glasses to see the world.
That's a pretty cool little metaphor you're using, Jake. But
Do you like that?
Do I really need my glasses to see the world?
You tell me, man. Why don't you take them off for a second?
Done and done, Jake, old chum. Glasses off.
Okay, so what do you see?
Ah! A giant talking Twinkie!
It's still me.
Get away from me, you freak!
It's still me. It's just Jake.
It's Jake. It's Jake.
Sorry, Jake.
You should be.
I took my glasses off, so naturally, when I looked and saw this, I assumed giant talking Twinkie. But I don't know. Let me see what I see if I put my glasses back on. Gah! Giant talking Twinkie!
What are you talking about?
See anything?
This crazy guy.
Nathan
You
is.
guys see it too? You guys see the giant talking Twinkie? No! Get away from me, you freak! Ah! Ah!
So moving on, Jake. What was that all about? What were we just doing? Glasses?
I think
what?
the point is that Nathan has really bad vision and is maybe also a crazy person.
Yeah.
You guys didn't see that?
Nathan, we're moving on. Okay.
Okay. Let's
This is
Anyhow,
bad. We'll talk
what I
about
was trying to say is the Bible's like glasses that correct your vision the way we see God, nature, and ourselves.
It
right?
doesn't change reality. Reality is always there, but we don't properly see it with the Bible. Without the Bible.
Glad you got that fixed.
Yes.
All right. So let's summarize.
Apparently I do
Two
need
ways.
glasses.
Two ways God reveals himself. One, nature, the general revelation. Two, the Bible, special revelation. And that's kind of how they go together.
All right, and that concludes our favorite segment, the primary ways that God reveals himself to us.
Thank you.
Now remember, we said we were going to talk about three things tonight. So, number one, how do we know the one true God? We've talked about that. So now we need to talk about who is the one true God. What are the facts about him? So we'll do that in a segment I call The Facts About the One True God. Nathan, Jake, Ben. So, let's talk about who is God actually? What are some of his characteristics, guys?
So, as far as characteristics go, first of all, God's eternal. He's always existed.
He's holy. He's perfect. He's set apart from sin and evil. There's nothing evil in him, nothing dark. There's only light.
He's loving. God is love. He loves perfectly.
He's omnipotent, which is a fancy word that means all powerful. He created the world from nothing. He keeps it all running all the time by his power.
He's omniscient. It's a fancy word that means he's all-knowing. He knows everything about you and me, including how long we're going to live. He knows how many grains of sand are on the beach. He knows how many stars are in the sky. He knows everything.
He's immutable, unchanging. Fancy word for unchanging. He does not change. He does not have bad moods, get good moods, get off up on the wrong side of the bed. He stays the same. He stays perfect.
And here's a big one. He's triune. He is 3 in 1. He's a trinity. One God, 3 persons. And that one can get us into trouble when we try to explain it.
Wait a second, Jake. I feel like I could explain the Trinity pretty easily. I would just use an analogy.
Wait, Ben,
Nathan.
an analogy, you loser? You mean like you're going to compare
excuse
the
me?
Trinity to something else?
It's pretty lame, Ben.
That's pretty lame.
Trinity's beyond us. You can't really explain the Trinity, how that can work in an analogy. You can't explain how God can be one God in 3 persons. It just doesn't work.
Well, maybe you can't, Jake. But I'm a master of analogies, and so I feel like for me it would be pretty easy.
Ben, you can't explain the Trinity with an analogy.
Can so.
Can not.
Can so.
Cannot.
Hey, I can so.
You cannot.
I can?
You can't.
I can.
No.
It's
Okay, stop.
What?
There's only way to solve it. One way to solve this.
Okay. What's that?
A rap battle, of course.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
duh,
Well,
of course.
Obviously.
Obviously.
All right.
Yeah, no problem.
Just the rap button. All right.
I'm
Spit
coming
a few-
for you, Holmes.
Just spit a few bars.
Yeah, sure. It's over.
Yeah. There we go.
That's better.
Yo, check it. If you were to make a list of what theology should consist of, you'd include that there's one God, but three persons coexisting. But some peeps persist in resisting this mystery with laborious analogies for the glorious Trinity. So let me spit some truth now if you think you can handle it. The Trinity's a mystery, no analogy can unscramble it. Trigonometry's complexity doesn't hold a candle. It's like any handle in your mind. The truth is gonna trample it. I'm telling you, the Trinity's a mystery. That's why it's been for all of human history. Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, 3 in 1. Better fear it. God's 1 and 3. He's a mystery.
All right. Well, Yo, Nathan, you've been saying there's no answer to this riddle, and I really hate to niggle, but I'm feeling non-committal. So while it pains my brain to say your raps are just a fallacy, I think I can explain the Trinity with an analogy.
Ben, you can't explain it, man. You do not have a prayer.
But it's kind of like an onion, bro. Just layer upon layer, or an egg, 3 in 1. You got a shell, a white, a yolk.
What you saying, soldier boy? Is this some kind of joke?
Maybe it's like water, man. Solid, liquid, gas.
I wish I could applaud you, but I cannot give a pass to a metaphor that doesn't score or clarify a thing.
Yo, stand back, fool, and hear the rhymes the Salsa's about to bring. The divine design's like an apple made of peel, flesh, and core. I could preach that speech in chapel, but I'll hit you with one more. If you're bored, I could define it like a 3-strand intertwining chord. That analogy standing up, but Nathan here is floored. That's right.
Yo, soldier, don't be dull, sir. Your argument is null, sir, and I say this to your shame. And onions' layers are the same, and eggs are kind of vague, you know, and water's always changing, and strands get frayed, and then they beg for constant rearranging.
Well, hey. I still don't see why I should be ashamed of my analogies. You're not a fan, my goodly man, of illustrative clarity?
Clarity is fine. I'm not a fan of heresy.
That's so uncool. I ain't no fool. I'm orthodox.
We'll see. Water can be different things, but just one at a time. God is 3 as well as 1, you bet your final dime. And God don't divide in pieces like an egg is known to do. Your theology is scrambled, friend. I think the yoke's on you. Though I hate to be too critical, I do not think it's biblical to... Let me take that one again. Though I hate to be too biblical... Nope, I don't hate to be too biblical. No! Though I hate to be too critical, I do not think it's biblical to reach for something physical when theology gets quizzical and God's correspondence when a doctrine is beyond us and we're tempted to be jaundiced, but we can't take it upon us to reduce the truth to fit our brain because it hurts our pride when we can't attain to the secret things. It's all just vain!
Oh. Well. Yo. Well, I tried to be poetical, but I turned out heretical, and that is antithetical to being exegetical. So if you're tempted to attempt to be too simple with the Trinity, don't fall into idolatry. You must bow in humility. We're telling you, the Trinity's a mystery. That's how it's been for the whole of human history.
It's a God who's beyond us that we're worshiping.
And we're telling you, the Trinity's a mystery.
Yeah, we're telling you the Trinity's a mystery.
It's been that way for men through our entire history.
Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, 3 in 1, better fear it.
Telling you the Trinity's a mystery.
It's a mystery.
He's a mystery.
Okay, what did we learn from the rap song, guys?
You might have another career.
I mean, who says we don't? You don't know. You don't know what we do after hours.
On the hip-hop circuit. Hey, I think what we learned is that the Trinity is a mystery. That's right. So I threw out a bunch of analogies, and you probably heard some of these. What did I say? I said apple, water, a cord, and an egg. Right, you probably heard some of those, right?
And the thing about those analogies is that if you actually follow them through to their logical conclusion, what you get is a heresy, something that's not true. So, for example, the idea of the Trinity as an egg, the shell, the white, the yolk, that's a heresy that, fancy theologians call partialism, where each member of the Trinity is a part of God, and you put them all together to get the complete God, just like you'd put the pieces of an egg together to get the complete egg.
But no one part of the egg is fully the egg, right? The analogy of water is similar too. That's a heresy that we call modalism. Water changes into different forms, steam, ice, water, and so some people think that God's like that. He's in like Father mode, and then he shifts into Spirit mode, and then he shifts into Son mode, and that's not it either.
No.
That's a heresy.
Yeah. So like we said in the wrap, the analogies try to make things simpler for us to understand, but they end up leading us to something unbiblical, to something heretical. They end up leading us to something not true about God.
So even though we can know God, there are still things about God that we can't fully understand. I may know that God is both one God in three persons, and those go together, but I can't fully understand how that works.
No. And we're always tempted to come up with ways to make God simpler for our little minds, but we shouldn't do that.
Right. Even the attributes of God that seem much simpler than the Trinity are mysteries to us because our minds are small, our minds are finite, and God is an infinite, unlimited, big God.
Like, for instance, earlier I said that God's eternal. On some level, we can understand that, but on another level, can we really understand that? We all have a beginning. Can you really wrap your head around what it's like to have no beginning? To be eternal? It's not really possible.
Another thing we mean by God's eternity is that he's outside of time. I can say that, but what does that actually mean? Can you imagine what that means? I can't.
So, to sum up, God is actually still beyond our comprehension, even though there are a lot of things we can know about him.
Which brings us to our final point of the evening. We've talked about how do we know the one true God.
Through nature and through the Bible.
We've talked about who God is.
Yeah, eternal, all-knowing, all-powerful, loving, holy, what else? 3 in 1 and more.
And so finally, how do we really know God as opposed to just knowing about God? That's our last question. Because knowing facts about God does not equal knowing God.
Wait, say that again.
Knowing facts about God does not equal knowing God.
One more time.
I'll even put it up on the thing, I think.
Next slide.
Yeah.
Oh.
No. Yeah, there we go.
Hey.
Knowing facts about God does not equal knowing God.
What do we mean by that?
What we mean is that we can know a lot of facts about somebody without actually knowing them. For example, you can know a lot of facts about LeBron James. He's from Akron, Ohio. He's about my age. He was drafted out of high school. He was the first overall pick in 2003. Played for the Cleveland Cavaliers, the Miami Heat, the Cavs again. And now he plays for the Lakers. He's a 4-time NBA champion, 4-time NBA Finals MVP, 4-time League MVP, 20-time NBA All-Star, 3-time NBA All-Star MVP, Rookie of the Year in 2004, AP Player of the Decade in the 2010s, 3-time Sports Illustrated Person of the Year, all-time leading scorer in NBA history, first NBA athlete to accumulate $1 billion as an active player. He's won 20 ESPYs. He's married his high school sweetheart. He's endorsed by Coke and Kia and AT&T and all kinds of things. And if he were to walk in this room right now, everyone here would recognize him. Everyone here would feel like they know something about him, maybe like they even know him because they know something about him. But we don't really know LeBron James. And he doesn't know any one of us.
Hey, same with Taylor Swift. Born 1989, the first record deal at the age of 15. She's got a bunch of Grammys and Billboard Music Awards and American Music Awards and had a record-breaking tour, and she's dating the tight end of the Kansas City Chiefs, Travis Kelce, and if she walked in here, you would know who she was. But you know what? She wouldn't know you at all, and you wouldn't really know her at all either.
We all know Dwayne Johnson, The Rock.
Ooh.
Boring actor. If he walked in here, he would know him.
He's big.
He's big. He looks like The Rock. But he would not know us.
So then let's talk about God. If you're here, chances are you know a lot of things about God. But the question is, do you really know him? And does he really know you?
Yeah. Knowing God means you have, like, an actual relationship with God.
Right, you can read the Bible, you can learn words like omniscience, you can learn not to use bad illustrations about the Trinity, but still not know God.
Yeah, if you want to know God, God has to actually deal with your sin, which he does through Jesus Christ.
Jesus deals with the guilt of our sin and with the power of our sin.
Jesus gives us a real relationship with God.
And that means we get adopted into God's families. We get to be his children.
Yeah, and that relationship is what matters. Father and child relationship with God. It's knowing God.
We can come to him, we can share our problems. He cares for us like a dad and loves us like a dad.
And we love him too.
And we finally really know him.
And then, and only then, do all the facts about God that we know begin to fall into place.
Because the truth is, you can read the Bible cover to cover, you can ace any theology exam that you want, you can go to seminary, and you can still not know God. You can still not have a relationship with your Father in heaven.
Very soon, on Sunday mornings, we will get to James 2, where James says basically the demons, they've got a lot of head knowledge. Even the demons believe and tremble.
Yeah, you don't know God until you know Jesus.
You don't know God until you know Jesus.
And if you think you know God and you don't know Jesus, then you don't actually know God.
We hope everyone here knows Jesus. But if you don't, talk to one of us after the show.
Yeah, what we're talking about isn't really that complicated, right? Like with any branch of knowledge, you can know a lot about something without really having experience of it. Like everybody gets that, right? Giant talking Twinkie!
I didn't
You guys
see him.
too now, this time, right?
He's very creepy.
What is this?
What is that?
Thanks, giant talking Twinkie.
What's in the box?
I don't know. There's a picture of a bomb on the box.
You should open it.
Yeah, let me open it.
Yeah, I think you should open it.
Oh no!
It's a bomb.
It's a bomb.
Yeah, it's a bomb.
Oh, great Caesar's ghost. Okay. We need to disarm this, Jake. Do you know how to disarm bombs?
No, I know how to disarm all kinds of conflicts and problems. I'm a pastor. I diffuse marital conflicts. I diffuse theological controversies. I do not diffuse bombs. Sorry.
That's fine. I'm sorry to. Well, does anyone here know how to defuse a bomb?
Look no further, mon capitan. It's the Quenster, ladies and germs. Ha! Oh, man. Hey, it's a little bit ironic, don't you think? Like, I am the bomb. But I'm about to save all of you from one.
Quentin, do you know how to defuse bombs?
Do I know how to defuse bombs? I'm Quentin Seltzer, baby. Artist, raconteur. I mean, you know the dealio. Listen, I may have started as a humble barista at Starbucks, but I worked hard and I became what I am today. A proud barista at Starbucks. Oh, yeah, still at Starbucks. It's great. Hey, what am I proud of, you ask? I'm so glad that you asked. I'm proud of, let's see, watching hundreds of action movies where guys defuse bombs. Playing Bomberman 64 for hours. Do you guys know what's even cooler than like beating a silly little video game like Bomberman 64? Beating Bomberman 2, the sequel, the second attack. I mean, it was way harder. Hey, I'm even proud that I bombed my driver's exam because ladies love the scooter. You know what I mean? So, in short, I know a lot about bombs.
All right. Can you defuse this bomb right here, the one that's counting down right here, that's starting to blow us up?
Can moi defuse that bomb? Let me ask you a question, since you asked me a question, my muscle-bound amigo. In Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition, can you name all of the chromatic dragons and their respective breath weapons? Can you?
A good question, Jake. Can you?
No, not in a million years. What are you talking about?
Exactly.
So can you defuse the bomb or not?
Well...
Quentin, I've got a chromatic dragon right here. It's a live bomb. It's going to blow this audience up. Can you help us right now?
Hey, Quentin's on the case, baby. Quentin's on the case. Lads here to defuse the old biscuit dodger.
What the heck is a biscuit dodger?
It's a right old tea wobbler, mate, and you know that if you knew your British slang and meringue. Top of the morning, governor. Fancy some crisps? Want some tea and crumpets, do ya, matey? What?
Can you disarm the bomb?
Don't worry there, you've got a bloke what knows his onions.
Dude, stop with the fake British accent.
Oui, oui, mon capitaine.
For the last time, Quentin, do you know how to defuse the bomb?
Well, here, you know what? Where we should start is, did you guys know that there's actually like a lot of different kinds of detonators for bombs? Like, you've got your impact style. Why don't we name them together? You got your impact style, you got your proximity, you got your time delay. See, it just depends on what you want the bomb to be.
That doesn't help us defuse the bomb.
Did you guys know that in the year 1080, there was this guy named Tang Fu? Isn't that awesome? And he made like the first sort of bomb-like device known to human history. Isn't that really cool?
Quentin, hurry up.
You know, yeah, I always think of old Tang Fu as my mentor in the sacred art of the bomb.
Quentin,
Yeah.
the bomb.
Oh, yeah, you know, today, guys, I'm like the opposite of Tang Fu because I'm gonna undo that bomb as soon as I remember what the next step is.
Yeah, what is the next step? We need to disarm this bomb.
Guys, look. I'm just trying to start with the facts, right? You gotta start with the facts because it's like the old Quinster. He always used to say this. I remember it well. I guess he still does. Knowledge is power, baby.
We'd
Right?
like the power to stop the bomb from exploding us all.
Guys, I want to assure you that the only thing that's gonna explode today is people's expectations of how great a bomb diffuser can be at his job. Boom, baby! Am I right?
Quentin, you know a lot of facts.
Right.
Do you know anything about actually diffusing a real bomb?
Of course I do. That's why I carry these wire cutters around, because I knew this day would come. It's not because I use them to clip my fingernails. That's not why I...
So,
getting a
how do we
little long
defuse the
there.
bomb? Quentin, hey,
What?
the bomb. How do we defuse it?
All right, bro. I guess we have different methodologies or whatever, but fine. No problem. I don't even need the wire cutters. I'll defuse the bomb. Here, give that over here. I've seen Magnum PI, just like everyone. I'll just pull the red wire. It's gonna be fine. One of the red wires. It's totally gonna be fine. Guide me now. Guide me now, Tang Fu.
It's still going.
Nah.
It says 30
Ah.
seconds.
No. No. Oh, I have an encyclopedic knowledge about bombs, but it turns out it wasn't the same thing as knowing how to deal with a real bomb. Now my worst nightmare is gonna come true. I'm gonna look bad in front of a live audience. No! What? Whoa! Thank you, giant talking Twinkie. Whoa, Mama, that was awesome! You saved me and other people too, but mainly me. That was so cool. Thank you so much. But what's the pie for? What are you doing? This is awkward. What do you want me to hold this for?
Thanks, Twinkie.
Thanks, Twinkie.
What? I don't understand. the giant talking Twinkie. He brought the bomb in the first place. It doesn't make sense. Then he defused it.
Quentin.
And then he pied me. I don't get it.
Quentin. I'm guessing the reason the giant talking Twinkie brought the bomb only to defuse it and then pie you in the face
Was because it would be funny.
And because he wanted to teach you a valuable lesson, Quentin. There's a difference between having knowledge of something and really knowing it.
I'm sure that's right, isn't it, giant talking Twinkie?
That's our show, ladies and gentlemen.
What do you think? Give him another round of applause. That was fantastic. Thank you all for being here. It means a lot. I hope you had a fantastic time tonight. Listen, the next time that we're all going to get together and do this is Sunday, April 7th at 7 p.m. So we hope that you will let somebody know about the next edition of the Roundtable. You will be here and plan on having much more fun and learning about the one true living God. Have a great night.